Good evening.
Hello, people.
How you doing?
Hello.
How are you all doing? Are we alive?
I think the silence sums it up.
Can you hear me?
I am actively falling asleep.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I just heard
I'm
silence.
responding to you.
Okay, cool.
I'm actively falling asleep because I was
Yeah.
up at 6:30 for work this morning.
Ouch. Well,
Um,
we've got a race.
yeah, back to back 5:30 and 6:30 wake ups for work has
Ouchies.
yes has sent a shock to my system. I can't lie.
Doesn't sound great. I was up late last night doing some obscene things.
5:30? That's basically when I went to bed.
You when Charlie says that he was doing obscene things, what he means is he was drinking and playing one of his autism-friendly games.
And fireworks.
No, I was setting off fireworks and then drank my life away.
Yeah, I can't blame you for that.
Like, I was genuinely doing some really cool fireworks last night.
Why did the entire UK just set off fireworks last
Because
night?
it's fireworks night on Tuesday?
Tonight. No, yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, no, you're right, it's Tuesday.
Uh,
But basically they get set off they get set off at Halloween as well, and then people just use the next 5 days to just set off fireworks whenever they like.
Ah, fair enough.
Actually, one of the houses down the road from me had a firework go through their window last night.
Lovely.
I mean,
Yeah, that was
I
fun.
had a firework like blast off in my face yesterday, so you know, it's all good. Good evening.
Aren't you
to-
like supposed to go to the hospital when that happens?
I was smart and wearing PPE, unlike some people.
PP.
PP.
Bro, what's this Jiglov guy saying? Use brain cells, please.
Basically, he's saying that
No.
in the next 10 minutes, the rain is going to get more. And I'm like, well...
You see,
Good.
using brain cells has never been my strong part.
Really? That's...
Believe it or not.
Victor's just
Oh
saying...
no, I believe you.
Victor's just said in the chat, quality conversation we got here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
It's better than nothing.
it's better than whatever those guy at Le Mans talk about 3 in the morning regarding cake and other things.
And a certain white powder that you tend to buy in small quantities.
Yeah.
Oh no, it wasn't the white powder, was it? It was the melty one.
Yeah, it was the melty one. The one
It was
that
the
requires a
spoon one,
spoon.
yeah.
The spoon
Yeah.
one, yeah. I mean, we're better than them.
In
And that's all that I
probably
care
wake me
about.
up right about now.
You're not wrong.
No, I tell you what, it's tight at the front of this first qualifying group. Just
isn't it?
600ths of a second separating the top three at the moment. Marvin Reisenhauer, of course, a regular in that Honda. Emo Plate as well, a regular here in the number 71 Ferrari 296. And then Matt Townsend, actually one of the Formula GT esports team drivers in the number 85 Aston Martin.
Yeah, it's a good showing. We've also got
Yeah, absolutely.
Dortmund in P4, and obviously we've not got Luke on the track at the moment, current championship leader, but he'll be going out in the second half of qualifying. Who else have we got? We've got Thomas Bossatelli, Barry Hagen, Hunter Davis has just popped in a time up higher than Barry Hagen. Then we've got Barry Hagen in the Bentley, Pietro Becchia, Olaf Naheem, Jesus, not the Jesus.
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 A Jesus, not the Jesus.
Yes. Leandro Reinho, Kevin Pikiri, one of our drivers as well, and Vladislav Balakin, as well as Karel, who's in the pits at the moment. Goncalves is on track at the moment as well from this group. And then basically anyone who is in the pits at the moment, other than like the guys who've set laps so far, will be in Group 2.
I tell you what, Thomas Bossatelli, 0.378 off pole time at the moment, improving 0.41. So through the final 3-4 corners here, this could be a really big lap for Thomas Bossatelli in that FNR team Mercedes AMG car, as he looks to possibly stake an early claim for a pole position time. Holy moly, I didn't know you could cut that chicane that much. Although he gets it all wrong on the exit and loses all the time that he'd been gaining. So crosses the line. He will improve his time, but he's not going to improve his position. Yeah, he will, ahead of Robert Bjorkman, because he was only behind him by 3,000.
Ooh, and that's a car coming out the pits as soon as he pulled over. Wow, that was close. We've currently got Reinho and Balakin up on their times as well. We'll see who's... So Balakin's further in the field.
Actually, Marvin Reisenhauer is kind of flirting with improving on his time as well, which would be nice for him to put a little bit more daylight between himself and Emo Plate. Hunter Davis
guys-
improving as well.
Yeah, Hunter Davis. Naheem's
310.
about 5 tenths up at the moment in that Ferrari. This will definitely put him about 7th, I think. A couple of positions improved.
Yeah, obviously still got well over half the lap to go. Just coming through the hairpin means that actually he's pretty much bang in the middle of the lap. In terms of distance, not in terms of time. Because the second half of this lap is significantly faster than the first half.
Oh, absolutely.
because it's essentially two big straights linked by a very wide hairpin that's glorified as a double apex horseshoe, but is actually just a hairpin. But yeah, still about 4/10 up for Lav9.
He's lost a little bit, but he's still getting up.
Oh,
Yeah, 5/10 here. He's still green. He's still green.
Flirting with going invalid there, and he's got the chicane wrong. That's not going to be good for his lap time. It's not. It's going to be less than a 10th improvement, I expect, by the time he gets to the line. About a 10th. Yeah, disappointing for Olav. Not going to find any positions with that. Whereas Hunter Davis, Hunter Davis, who's currently 7/10 up, 6/10 up, he'll be about 5 by the time he gets to the line, 5.5.
Maybe 6 even, yeah, 5.5. He's going to improve from 6th.
The 4th, right? No, he doesn't improve.
I think he was on a...
No, was that an invalid lap?
Or invalid, yeah, possibly.
I'd be impressed.
Improving.
It doesn't normally show time improvements on an outlap race control, so I'd be surprised if that was the case.
He's losing all of his time here, though, Robert Bjorkman. He's gained a little bit in that hairpin, but he's going to have to keep it in for the rest of the lap, which is going to be a bit difficult, I would think. Yeah, he's losing it all here already. A couple of tenths here, and hundredths here. Becky is about half a second up on his time as well, coming out with the spoon onto the back straight and then over the line. These conditions are pretty challenging for anyone, so it's going to be good to see where people are in regards to their wet pace. They can't go full out, and as Pietro really showed there, you can't use the curbs on that final corner or you're really going to lose most of your time. He's going to come up across the line 4.5 tenths quicker, and this is going to go in from 8th to...
No, again, not a valid lap. Must have been an outlap for Pietro.
I think he did improve, he just didn't improve enough to gain a position out of that. Kevin Pekiri's improving.
Oh, yeah, because he's gone just a tiny bit behind Barry Hagen, hasn't he?
But yeah, Kevin's about 4 tenths up on his time here, currently sitting in 10th at the moment. He's lost a lot of time out of the spoon there, though. Do let us know who you're supporting for this race tonight in round 4 of our GT3 Championship. Got 31 drivers out tonight, so this will be pretty good. And it's probably gonna be a wet race, I would expect. And the temperatures are quite cold, 14 degrees on ambient and track at the moment, 7:15 AM. So it's not gonna get any. I don't think it's going to get that much hotter, but Kevin does improve, doing a 2:08.0. Marvin Reisenhauer still on pole at the moment, just 0.035 from Reisenhauer, and as we are at the 15-minute mark, this is Group 2, so Group 2 will be allowed to head out onto track now and get their laps in. We're going to keep on watching Kevin here as he is up on his time, still on a valid lap. You're allowed to do 1 lap after you cross the line after the 15-minute mark, and then you must get back into the pit. So we'll watch this final lap for him. Who's your bets on tonight? Who's going to take pole, do you think? Do you think it's going to be Reisenhauer, or do you think someone else is going to push it above?
I think looking at the weather conditions, it's going to be somewhat difficult for that second group to kind of get out. If it's going to be someone from the second group, it's got to be probably their first or second quali lap before we see this possible kind of increased rain level come in, which is going to be hitting quite literally any minute. So they're going to need to, they're going to need to get out and put in the lap for pole almost immediately if they want to go up there. I'll be back in just a second.
No worries. Yeah, as we watch Kevin here, he's not up on his time anymore, so this isn't going to be an improvement for him this time around. And he heads back into the pits as expected. As we can see that people are on track now in the Group 2. We've got quite a few people out on track. I'm just going to look for Daniel Manduzzi. He's going to start his first lap of this session. He's being followed there by Richard Walters as well, who, Daniel Manduzzi just ruins his lap at turn 1 there. But we'll watch Richard Walters here, who during free practice, he was very, very quick. So I expect these Fords to do pretty well tonight, regardless of the conditions. The practice was wet as well. So Katarzyna Horosco, hello everyone, and for the drivers, go and have fun. Absolutely, yeah. Bound to have a lot of fun here in these difficult, tricky conditions. So, see what these guys can do. I do think that the weather conditions are worsening throughout this qualifying session, so these Group 2 drivers might have a disadvantage compared to the others, but I mean, at the end of the day, we can't predict the weather. Richard Walters is not on a valid lap anymore, so we'll find someone else to watch. Got Christian Woodkay. We'll have a look. Hunter's just said, by the way, Charlie, I did improve my lap when you and Ollie were watching. You did. I believe you did, but I just don't think you improved your position, which was the thing. It's hard to tell normally if you've improved your lap, but not improving your position. So, appreciate you might have improved, but very good. You'll be starting from P6 at the moment, but we'll look here at Christian Woodkay, who's changed his livery this weekend. It looks like a Spa livery, perhaps. I'm not sure why he's running a Spa livery at Suzuka. It's kind of the wrong country, but we move. He's going to come across the line in just a second. And he's going to set a 2:08.8. That puts him 14th at the moment. And we've got a couple of people following through. Luke Wilson goes 4th with a 2:05.7 in that Mustang. I said the Mustangs will be quick, and I wasn't wrong. See who else can improve their times or set another lap for the times. Knight Last has come in with a 2:11.4 into P17. All of the drivers who have currently set times in the top 18 so far are improving on their times, as well as Brandon Fuller sets a 2:10.3, puts him 17th. Drew Downing comes in with a 2:10.5, puts himself 18th. So these laps are going to come in thick and fast now as people get their laps completed. Yeah, as Hunter said on chat, not your position, but you improve by 5 tenths. That's quite a lot here, especially in these conditions. That's really good. Mustang really does do some good stuff at this track for sure. Gil Herms just said my force feedback wasn't working during quali. Well, you've set a time, so you'll be starting the race. That's fine. Carrera goes P11 with a 2:07.5. Not sure what livery he's got on tonight. He's showing up black, so that's a shame. Wilson coming through 130R. As Richard Walters pops in a time for third, a 2:05.6. So currently 0.038 off the pole time at the moment. But very, very, very tight within the top four. Currently 600th of a second separating those top four. I say that. Luke Wilson's gone into fifth with a 2:05.6. So currently pole is 2:05.5. And Luke is 2:05.630. So really, really tight at the top field at the moment. Barely anything between these top five. So really, really good results for these guys. We've got people Oliver Dudzik in P12 and Fabiano in P14. That's not where Fabiano will want to be. Obviously, poled it last weekend at Nürburgring. Was leading the race for all of it, apart from that final corner where he had a screen freeze in the final corner, and lost the lead to Luke Wilson and Robert Bjorkman. So Fabiano will be really, really, really wanting to improve his time here. Zhiglov setting a time of 2:08.4 in the BMW in P19. George Stevens has set a time in the M6. Yes, the M6. Insanity from George Stevens here tonight. We've got a couple of people still on laps. Fabiano is currently nearly 9/10 up on his time at the moment, so that will improve him quite a lot, but not enough for pole. 2.3 seconds off pole at the moment. So we'll see what we can do, what he can do. If he can gain any more time into this final sector of the track. Richard Walters has bailed for the pits, and Fabiano is going to come across the line very, very, very soon. He's got, I think, Luke Wilson in front of him. Yeah. And he's going to improve from 14th to P9. So still quite a lot to get there. 6/10 he'll need to find to improve his time any further. Carrera Zhiglov is up on his time. Currently a second up on his time here. He's 2.9 seconds down from pole. He's going to improve his time to 14th there. Carrera is improving as well as he comes into the final sector. Got 5 minutes left of this qualifying session, so it'll be interesting to see what people can do in this final few moments.
Yo, wagwan.
Wagwan. Hello, hello.
I see that Hunter has gone and mixed it right up there.
Yeah, he did. He did a time of 2:06.0, so he's currently 4.5 tenths slower than pole, but P8 at the moment. Carrera does improve up to 13, so good job from him. Hayden Sweet currently P22.
Yeah, Luke Wilson getting up there as well in the Mustang.
Yeah, I did say that Mustangs were going to be quick. They were quick in practice. Maybe the conditions helped them. But we'll see what Hayden can do as he's coming around the screen at the moment. 2 tenths up on his time. 2:08.6, 3 seconds off pole at the moment. obviously these sort of weather conditions aren't suited or best for setting the fastest or quickest laps that you can. 3/10 up after 130R. How much more can he improve? And he improves to 20th there, so good result there from Hidden Sweet. Lots of people up on times. We're going to watch Drew Downing, who's currently 2/10 up on his time as he heads into the final chicane in that amazing Formula GT Racing League Mustang livery. I think the Mustang just looks incredible regardless of what livery it's got.
Yeah, that's very true.
And Drew does improve. Not many people improving up at the top, but Knight Lars currently nearly 5/10 up in his time in the S's at the moment, and heading to the back. Currently P26, so 7/10 at the moment. Let's see if he can keep it up and improve any further. But it's still Marvin Reisenhauer on pole. Unexpected pole for him. I mean, I don't know if it was unexpected. Probably unexpected. Let us know, Marvin. Was it unexpected? Or what? Hidden Sweet is also improving as well now. 4/10, 5/10 after the spoon, so this is going to vault him right up the order, I think. Keep it within track limits. He's still on a valid lap, so this will improve his position. See what we can do heading into the final corner. Still 4.5 up. He's going to improve from 20th to 17th, so small improvement. Like last 8/10 up on his time, coming through the final sector.
I'm not going to find him anything though.
Yeah, I don't think it will do it. No, it won't. It's not going to improve position. He'd improve time, but not position.
7/10.
He needs, yeah, as you say, another 7/10 and he'll be up there. Fabiano's into 9th now. I can't remember if that was where we left off with him earlier, but he is up in his time just. So Fabiano is going to be wanting to improve really quite a lot, and he's not going to be able to have time to set another lap after this. So that's going to be a shame for him. Luke's just in the chat saying, man. What happened to your base in practice, mate?
I thought that looked like the rear end of an M6. It's because it is.
George Stevens, let's have a look at this M6.
Man is allergic to driving normal
New
cars.
Gen cars, yeah.
Started out when he drove the
old Porsche and stuff, didn't he?
the old Porsche. He's also partial to the Aston V12.
I mean,
he's never been one for new things.
He is 5/10 up on his time though, so I won't be complaining.
Bit of a maniac, but we do love a good maniac.
We love a maniac here at the league, so it's all good. Fabiano is slightly improving, literally just on the green. But I'm not sure he's going to be able to get any more places up from that. He's currently 2/10 behind Hunter in P8. So not much to improve there as we look at this lovely M6. 1.2 seconds up into the chicane here, 1.3 seconds. He's been hustled on by Daniel Monduzzi behind him though. But it is the responsibility of drivers to find space on the track. But 2.5 seconds will increase his position from 28th to 29th.
What an improvement.
What an improvement. Absolutely fantastic. Right, I'm going to leave you with the quick trailer for a second, and then we'll be back. And we are back. Welcome everyone to the race. We are on our way on the formation lap of the Honda pole at home from Marvin Reisenauer. This is going to be a really interesting race to see what can happen with everyone in the championship fight, because championship leader Luke Wilson is currently in P5. P2 in the championship, who is Robert Bjorkman, P7, Fabiano P8, Thomas Bossatelli P6, Matt Townsend P4, Luca Murray not here, Richard Walters P3, Barry Hagen P10, Kieran Macy not here, Olav Naheem currently P12, Jesus in P20, Marvin's in P12 in the standings, but P1 on track at the moment. So this is, I mean, it gives him an extra five points as well in the championship, which is, you know, always important. But yeah, Sammy Peterson for the win in chat from Doggy Woggy. Well, Sammy Peterson is not really there. He's 28th. So it's going to have to be a big shout for that guy to get up to win the race. Do let us know who you're supporting though. But yeah, a few penalties as well. So we've got Francesco Correa in P13 with a penalty, Jesus with a penalty, Reinho and Kakirel with a penalty. So all of those guys will have to serve their penalties during the pit stop. So, what's your bets on happening in this first lap, Ollie? What do you think is going to happen?
Probably mild, probably mid to mid-well chaos. I reckon.
Mid-well chaos. Okay. Well, we'll have to see as they're coming on the back straight now, getting ready.
Are they? Sorry.
Yeah, they are, mate. They're on the back straight. You trying to be funny? It's grid packed full of different brands, different cars, different generations, and lots of drivers. 31 drivers to be exact. And we'll see what can happen in this first lap of the race. And for the rest, obviously. We'll go for a helicam for the start, because something's bound to happen. Can't be more chaos than F1 today, says Reese. Well,
that is very true.
Yeah, I think you've got us on that one. But as they line up 2x2 into the final corner of the track and heading to the line for the start of the race, let's see what can happen here. Honda on home pole. As they head up to the line, waiting for those green lights. See Luke Wilson, championship leader, on the bottom of the screen there. And green. Heading down to turn 1. That's a good start from Reisenauer, just edging out from MO Plate there. Richard Walters with a big send.
Oh.
Forcing MO Plate off the track there. 3 wide there with Matt Townsend as well.
Yeah, Matt Townsend and
Luke Wilson make contact there. Looks like
Fabiano
and Thomas Bossatelli with Fabiano.
Bad rejoin,
Robert Bjorkman getting a position, and Barry Hagen up there. Look at Hunter Davis taking on Luke Wilson as well now. That's 2 Formula GT cars in close proximity. A little bit of a tap there from Barry Hagen on the back of Matt Townsend there.
Yeah, looks like Matt Townsend had to get on the brakes, realised he was going too fast and was going to go wide coming out of the Dunlop Hill.
Fabiano goes off track, and a big send there from Pietro Becchia. Oh, we've got currently 3 F&R cars within close proximity here. What's going to happen?
Any silly moves into the hairpin?
See what can
Thankfully
happen.
not.
Couple of taps here and there. Not the police Bentley. Get him a toga one. All I'm saying, get a toga one. As we've got quite a few people
unfortunately,
at the back.
unfortunately, Barry's annoyed Reese, so Reese moved it to the bottom of the pile of liveries to be completed.
Yeah, I can completely understand. Luke Wilson has
Actually, Reese, that's a point. I have a bone to pick with you about the liveries.
Ooh.
You didn't tell me you were going to pay Eric for them. I feel bad now. I didn't realise.
Josh Stevens is making up loads of positions here, though. He's currently up into 23rd. It says 27th on the stream, but software says 23rd. So really good job from George Stevens there, starting from the back. Hayden Sweet making a position up here as well for P15.
Go on, Aiden.
Chaos. Kevin Pikiri looks like he's going to try and make a position up on Balakan here as well. Reisenhauer has a 5/10 gap already.
Could be a move. Maybe Fabiano De Gennaro thinking about it. No, he doesn't in the end.
But Barry Hogan goes
too wide.
And Fabian gets position. Hunter Davis is going to force his nose in there as well. Looks like Barry's struggling a little bit with the traction off that corner.
Yep.
But we'll see what can happen for the rest of this race. It's already really interesting. Thomas Bozzatelli getting past Dudzik. And we got Christian Woodkate in the pits.
Yeah, return to carriage.
So that's not good, but Richard Walters into second now, so Emma Plate dropped to third out of that first lap. But look at that, Marvin Reisenhauer goes wide on that corner. Is that the Degner?
Yeah, Degner 1 and Degner 2, yeah.
Olaf Nahin getting past Hunter Davis as well. Drew Downing making a position, Kakarel making a position on Kevin Pikiri. As we got Drew Downing making up quite a few positions here. Good job, Drew, in that beautiful Bentley. Are we keeping you awake, Ollie? Says Reese. Just a bit.
Yeah, just about, yeah. Might need some ice cream to have some sugar to keep me awake.
It's a good shout, to be fair. But look at these gaps. These gaps are really tight, even in this treacherous conditions. Oh no, Kromzik's had an issue. Let's see what's happened here with Kromzik. Heading into the spoon. Makes contact with Jiglov on the outside there. And oh, I don't know. That looks like it might have been someone turning in on him there. But dropping now to 23rd behind George Stevens. So gaps are now currently evening out to about a second up at the top. As Bossatelli gets past Pietrovecchia. So FNR boys are changing positions. Team orders perhaps. As we see Olaf Nahin go wide and Hunter Davis takes full advantage of that. Gaining that position. Getting himself up to a top 10 position for Hunter. That's going to be amazing for the FG2L team to get 2 cars in the top 10. But Richard Walters still about half a second back from Marvin Reisenhauer at the moment. Walters has got the fastest lap of the race so far, a 2:06.5. So... Oh, and a big send there from Hunter Davis. Goes straight into the gravel trap at the Degners. Nearly took out Barry Hagen as well, but he drops down to 14th place now, just behind Hayden Sweet. As we watch Hayden Sweet at the moment, and Hunter Davis. A lot of cars behind them, going to battle it out as well. Gap is now a second at the front. Luke Wilson and Matt Townsend currently closing on Robert Bjorkman as well. I wonder how much damage Luke has at this point. That will be pretty interesting. looks like Olav's dropped a position as well to Thomas Postatelli. MO plate closing in on Richard Walters as well in the final corner. Heading into turn 1. Correa's involved in an incident in the chicane, and that was someone going out as well. Let's have a quick look. Side by side into the chicane. Oh, he just turns in on Drew Downing there. And then you can see that BMW trying to avoid him. Interesting stuff. Becchia gets ahead of Naheem as well.
We'll be back in a bit.
Bossatelli putting the pressure on Barry Hagen. Side by side. Oh, he nearly went for it there. Luke Wilson currently with the fastest lap time of 2:06.525. So a good improvement there from Luke. As he's on the back of Matt Townsend here. Dropped a little bit from Robert Bjorkman, but still very, very early stages of this race. What can Matt do in return, in retaliation from Luke Wilson? Luke Wilson looks like he's going to go for a side by side through 130R. He gets the move done into 130R. That's an incredible move from Luke Wilson there, gaining a position up to 5th place now. With Fabiano just behind Matt Townsend. Hunter Davis on the back of Hayden Sweet. Hunter trying to recover those positions back from his early mistake. Luke Wilson goes quickest once again. Bossatelli still on the back of Hagen here. But Hagen's using that Bentley and keeping it as wide as possible on this twisty track. Still a long way to go. Only 10 minutes into this race so far. 4 laps completed. Hello, hello. Chess. Tizzy Witty.
Hello.
Robert Bjorkman's closing on MO Play as well now for P3 and P4. Kevin Picari's gained a position here. As we're going to have a quick look at what happened there. Caccarel. So there's contact between Kevin and Balakin, and then Caccarel as well, checking up. Kevin gains the position there though, so that's probably going to be a penalty for Kevin in post-race. And we've got some more drama happening back here. Let's have a look what's happened here. Oh, a spin there for Drew Downing, and just drive straight into Reno there. Not good for those guys. Hayden Sweet and Hunter Davis battling it out at the moment. Hunter briefly got ahead as Hayden's coming into the pits. Oh, he's got drive-through for track limits, I would assume. We'll have a quick look what happened. Hayden goes very, very wide into the chicane. I wonder where he got that drive-through from. It's not good though. Barry Hagen's lost the position to Thomas Positelli, probably into turn 1 or turn 2. As Hayden's dropping down the order now after that drive-through. Where taking all the grass there. What's he trying to do there? Trying to gain some proper wet to cool his tyres down. We're going to have a look at Robert Bjorkman, who's still on the back of MO plate. As you can see there. Hayden served his drive-through and comes out in P27. So that'll be interesting to see what can happen. 422, Peterson is in the pits. Not sure why. Have they RTG'd perhaps? Return to garage. Monduzzi on the back of Night Last here. Let's have a look. Oh, and Knight just forces him a little bit wide there to defend that position. Knight goes off track. So does Monduzzi. Monduzzi's on the inside. Plenty of space there for both of them. And Monduzzi gains the position out of the spoon. Monduzzi's got a bit of damage there, it looks like. But what can this McLaren do with its straight line speed? Still alongside into 130R. And Knight gets the position back. What a move there from Knight. Great stuff. As we can see, the gaps are closing as well at the front. Daniel Monduzzi has finally got past though. Hayden Sweets gained a position and Peterson is still in the pits. So maybe they've been involved in an incident perhaps? Oh, look at this though. MO plate right on the back of Richard Walters, and look at this, Robert Bjorkman and MO plate going side by side out of the hairpin. MO plate's ahead now. This is great racing though in these conditions. Reisenhauer's gap now 2.4 seconds on lap 6 of this race. You can see that gap is pretty big now, pretty substantial. Cynical has said, I'm in pits because this setup wasn't cutting it, so that must be Pedersen. Interesting. Under predicted the rain. It's not too bad, but yeah, I can understand not wanting to run in a setup that's just not suited for the wet. But this gap is tight here between these three guys for the final position on the podium. Let's have a look at the manufacturer standings as well. Currently Beamer leads by 75 points, which isn't a lot at all, over McLaren. Obviously, McLaren's got quite a few drivers here today. So you've got Robert Bjorkman, you've got Kevin Keary, Balaklin, Brandon Fuller, Night Last, Jesus, and Markussen, all in McLarens. Whereas Beamer has got Dudzik, Zhiglov, Kakirel, and Stevens, Hayden Sweet, and Pedersen, who is now back out on track, being lapped by these faster cars. And then Ford Mustang, obviously with Luke Wilson taking those wins, is currently third. So a really good championship fight for the top 4 brands actually, Ferrari included there as well. And a win for Honda with Marvin this weekend would be incredible for him. This would definitely put Honda into the championship fight. But the gap is closing a bit. It's sort of fluctuating a little bit. Depends where on track they are. Krumzik and Balakin going side by side into the Degners. Bit of contact there forces Krumzik off the track. And Balakin gains the position. Correa going off track as well in the Degners. Whilst trying to get past Goncalves. That's going to mean Jesus and Hayden should be able to get past pretty soon. Defensive line from Correa there. But then the switch back here for Jesus, and he's up on the inside and through. What can Hayden do? Oh no, they go side by side. Correa's back through. Maybe Jesus had a little bit of an issue with getting the traction out of the corner there. Right on the back now. Kakarel. Right on the back of Pakiri, who's on the back of Jiglov. This is really good for Kevin. P15 currently. A really great result for him, this will be. As he goes defensive on the inside. Oh, and contact there with Jiglov for Kevin Pakiri. Kevin Pakiri drives on. Bossatelli currently with the fastest lap of the race at 206.637. Sorry, 206.417 even. So great pace from Bossatelli here. But again, this gap for the final position on the podium is closing. And Townsend isn't too far back either. Only a second back from these guys. Mank in the chat, evening all. Hello Mank, how are you? Still trying to find some pace. Where are you trying to find pace at? Because you're not in this race, so what track? What car? That's nice.
Hello.
Hello. Good friend.
I have eaten ice cream.
You've
It's
eaten
very
some
good.
ice cream. Very good. Look at Luke Wilson right on the back of Robert Bjorkman now. Barely a tenth between these two. Luke really would be wanting to get past Robert at this point to seal his championship lead. Too early to say that he can win it, but it's definitely possible. Robert, obviously the previous championship title holder from this league, but Luke's been a lot stronger this year. This season. Less mistakes. Obviously was involved in an incident at Laguna Seca through no fault of his own. But Luke's been really strong, and obviously Robert had a really shocking bad race at Imola, the first round of the championship. Naheem on the back of Dudzik for P11, P12, so out of the top 10 at the moment. That Ferrari does look a little bit slidey though, doesn't it?
Yeah, indeed. Indeed.
I can imagine that the BMW is a little bit better on this track, especially in these conditions. Seems to do well in the wet, doesn't it? George Stevens on the back of his newer generation BMW here with a Acura, or Honda I should say, behind. Matt saying I'll sort myself and join soon. Oh, interesting. Good to have more people join us. I think the next round is in 2 weeks' time at the Rebel Ring, so the 17th of November at the Rebel Ring. That'll be pretty cool. It looks like Night Last has made a mistake. M6 still looks awesome. Yeah, it does. It does look really cool. But obviously very old and not as consistent, I guess you could say. I mean, what is the ballast on that? It's got 0 ballast. So, out of all of the cars...
because no one drives it.
Yeah, no one drives it, so it's not got any ballast. So, it could be really good. It could be really, really good. Bossatelli, really, really quick at the moment still. Matt Townsend has closed in on this battle as well for the 3rd position. Perhaps a couple of seconds slower, yeah. I think it depends on the driver, though. You look at George Stevens, who's just got past the newer generation BMW, as the newer generation BMW gets back through. I mean, looking at these 2 lap times, for example, Jiglov is about 2 seconds quicker on lap times. So maybe that's something to consider. But we'll see. As we've finished 10 laps, and look at that, 3 wide in the back. Hayden Sweet getting nearly 2 positions out of that in turn 1. He's going to look for another move here on Gilham. I think that those Porsches are probably not very stable here in this weather compared to the BMW, which has got a little bit more to it. It does look like Robert Bjorkman has been passed by Luke Wilson, so Luke Wilson up to 4th now, and Matt Townsend right on the back of Robert Wilson. I can't talk, can I? Robert Bjorkman. I did say I'm drunk still. Probably am. And there is contact there between someone and Night Lars. Let's have a look. Coming into the Degners, and contact. Was it contact? Ooh, I don't know. That looks like it was Knight just making a mistake and then sliding it, I think. Oh, but there is contact there though. Let's have a look here again. Coming up into this here in the hairpin. Ah, oh, contact ahead. And then Night Last coming through. Gets taken out by Zhiglov as well. So a lot of back and forth between these guys. Currently, quite a few incidents have already been registered. But this is not good for Knight. Zhiglov in the pits. As we see Luke Wilson on the back of Emma Plate still. Closing in on Richard Waters as well, so Richard Waters lost a lot of time in that sector probably. Let's have a look what they can do though. Really tight battle here. Look at this, Luke Wilson going for a move. Nearly. Will he make it into here? No, he'll hold off. I think the Luke Wilson might go for a move here maybe, or into the final chicane. He's got a lot of pace and a lot of straight line speed, does the Mustang. But look at this, they're all closing in now. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all within just a couple of seconds of each other now. Bossatelli closing in on Fabiano. Ches, if you're still here, what's your bets on who is your bet on for who's going to win the race? Do you think Marvin will take a home pole in the Honda? A home win in the Honda?
Yeah. It's probably either going to be Marvin or Luke. Or Robert.
I've completely forgot that I've not got the timings up on the thing, so let me just do the little trick that Ollie taught me the other day
Woohoo!
and get those timings up for you guys to have a look at. But Marvin's got a 2.5 second gap now when P2 to P6 are all battling within a couple of seconds of each other here. So this is really good news for Marvin, who heading into the pit window will have a pretty significant advantage over the rest of these guys, especially the guys who are in championship contention. And Ollie, do you think that Marvin will be able to replicate a pole to win this race?
I think it's a real possibility. You know, at the moment we're seeing, you know, there is that gap at the front, about 2.5 seconds. Nothing huge, but any gap is good gap, right?
I think what's also interesting is that obviously you've got P2 to P6 all battling with each other. Anything could happen between these two, these 5 people, and that could just give the win to Marvin.
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously battling the people around you are having
around the outside at turn 1 off MO plate, goes off track, rejoins the track, still alongside. I think Luke's going to have to see that position. He does, but that's let Richard Walters get away. He goes up on the inside, now the outside for the next corner. Oh, he's going to lose the position to Robert as well. Sorry for interrupting. Let continue.
Oh, don't worry. Yeah, I think obviously the battles that people around you are having on track can sometimes actually do more for your race than battles that you're having or the pace that you've got.
Yeah.
Although I think, you know, to a certain extent with Marvin, that's not necessarily true, because he is, you know, he is leading. He is the fastest man on track. But this battling behind will certainly ease his mind a little bit, especially considering that he has only got that.
Luke Wilson
2.5
nearly
seconds
gets
gap.
contact with Robert there. Apologies for that. I think Luke's a bit mad now, probably.
I mean, I don't know why, because there was nothing wrong with anything that happened with MO plate at all.
It looks like Hayden has left the server. Perhaps not happy with his performance tonight. So look at this. Luke Wilson still on the back of Robert Bjorkman, putting all that pressure in. See if it can make anything from it. That's the thing, as I said earlier, Luke Wilson is really a really strong driver here this year, and you know, he's got a real chance of winning the race if he can do it. He just needs to not make these mistakes. He goes past Robert Bjorkman into turn 1. Bjorkman losing that position. Pit window is open. So people will be popping in. Can Luke Wilson catch up to the back of MO plate again? 3.5 seconds now is the gap from Marvin to Richard. So a big gap there. Oh, big slide there for Luke as he comes into the pits. Hits the marks. Continues on. Kieran Macy in the chat. Hello, Kieran. Bossatelli also came into the pits that time around. It is rather damp, isn't it, Kieran?
Could someone explain to me why I've just found a €40 controller that's €40 new, like brand new store price, for €80 on Facebook Marketplace?
That's pretty crazy.
Because someone's insane.
Yeah.
And here I am trying to find new sim racing equipment, trying to think that I could find a bargain on Marketplace. And then someone's trying to scam me.
You are mental, my guy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, probably.
Chez is loud, is he? Yeah, he always is.
Yeah, I'll live with it. Nah, kidding. Turn me down if need to. Or do you want me to turn me down?
It might also be the fact that you just yap into your mic.
I mean, I do use a mic the way a mic is supposed to be used. By talking into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have guessed. Never.
Ooh, someone's selling Fanatec.
I own it, Fanatec. Kieran's saying, I'm glad I'm not having to deal with this weather. Running around here is rather interesting, yeah, definitely. It's,
Why is this actually not a bad price?
don't know, mate. Yeah, he says you're better now than Chez. Hope that's okay,
cool.
Mr. Hayden, as well.
Someone's selling a wheel stand with Fanatec CSL Elite pedals, a CSL Elite wheel base, plus the Club Sport Formula V2
Interesting.
for €450 roughly.
Damn.
I mean, just the wheel. The wheel also has pineapple grips,
Nice.
so that's actually not the worst thing I've seen. I don't need one, but it's
See if any of these guys in the lead come into pits. That looks like Bjorkman has come into the pits, and as well MO Plate. Marvin Reisenhauer now leading by about 3 seconds. Let's have a look at this Honda for now. Currently leading. Speed Force Sim Racing. Do go check them out on Instagram. Do also go check us out on Instagram as well. We do post our racing team race results on there. In fact, me, Ches and Hunter did a 6 hours of Alton Park last week, which was interesting, should we say?
Yeah. We got something coming up this weekend as well.
Yeah, we got a big one this weekend, haven't we? What is it?
The big one.
The big one. I mean, we've had multiple big ones this year.
Yeah, but in my opinion, when it comes to ACC sim racing, this track and race length combo is the race.
Anyone want to take a guess what it is? If you know in chat, don't say it, because that's ruining
yeah, that's
the
just
point of
gonna
guessing.
be boring then.
Anyone have a guess of what it might be? We've got quite a few people actually in this race who are participating. I'll go through the list of who is participating. This man right here, Marvin Reisenhauer, will be. We've got, I think Barry Hagen's doing it, not with us, but with the Togo Esports.
Oh god, yeah, I need to get that set up. I need to get that lineup finalised. Yeah, it's the you're talking about the 24 hours of...
Ollie!
Ollie! We just told people to guess. We told people to guess, and now all of a sudden you're just, oh, you're talking about this, huh?
No, in reality, it is the 24 hours of Spa QRT within that. So yeah, Marvin Reisenhauer in the pits now, though. So is Matt Townsend. Yeah, Marvin Reisenhauer is participating with us. Barry Hagen, Hunter Davis. Who else? Luke Wilson's driving with us. Kevin's driving with us. I'm doing it. Ches is doing it. Who else? Kieran. But yeah, so Richard Wilder's currently leading the championship, leading the race on pit stops. 6 minutes left off this window. So plenty of time for him to come in and get that stop done. Olav Naheem has stayed out, as well as Hunter Davis. So they're now P2 and P3. Currently Luke Wilson, who did pit earlier, is behind Robert Bjorkman and Emma Plate by 2 seconds at the moment. So that's a big gap after the pit stop. Obviously, I think Luke might have repaired his damage, I would guess. That's probably what happened. Let's have a look at the driver time, the stop time. So yeah, Luke Wilson was stopped for 35 seconds. Robert and Matt 32 and 33. So definitely down to probably that damage repairs. Only a second or so of repairs, so not too bad, but this is busy up ahead. Look at this. Oh, getting to grips with a lapped car there as well. Yeah, I think Reese made a good point earlier, saying that at least this isn't as chaotic as Suzuka today. Not Suzuka.
Brazil.
Brazil. That's it. Thank you.
Brazil.
Brasilia. Careful, we might get copyright strike. Joking. Luke Wilson currently with the fastest lap of the race as well. So this could be something important for him. This recovery drive as well. I completely forgot. We still need to put that vote out for the 100 subscriber special, don't we?
We do.
We need to do that at some point. I'll probably put it out after the race. But yeah, so it's going to be a 100-minute race at any of the tracks that we've picked for the vote. And you can vote on the track. You can vote for the class. No, did we already figured that, didn't you? I think.
Everything
we did.
should be.
We just need to put a vote out for the track. So that'll be good. Yeah, thank you all for joining us today. Your afternoon is going well. Olav is out in the lead now as Richard Wallace has pitted. It's interesting as well as Townsend has come out ahead of Luke. Most likely due to that pit stop length, but Eisenhower overtaking Krumzik here, who's still not pitted. So Net P1 still out in the lead. Olaf and Hunter are in at the same time as well now. So Marvin will come out as the leader now. Big moves there in the rear. See what can happen here for Luke and get ahead of Townsend, who's closed a little bit of a gap for. Pit window is closed, so some people have not served their pit stops yet. It's not good. We've only got Balaklin who's not served his pit stop, mandatory pit stop here. So that will be interesting to see why. Brendan Fuller's just about to serve his. Luke Wilson and Matt Townsend go side by side. Gloves off for these two. Richard Waters is right behind now on the back of Luke Wilson. Approaching some lap traffic here. Beautiful sound of these Mustangs and the look. They look absolutely fantastic. What's your favourite car in the game, Ollie?
We talking looks or?
Let's go looks, and then sound, and then how you drive it. Do the whole shebang.
Such a difficult question.
I know. Robert Bjorkman has looped it around. What's happened here? Coming into 130R and just loses it on curbs. He does! Straight into that wall. That's going to be a lot of damage there for Robert Bjorkman. Not good.
That's not a usual Bjorkman crash as well.
It's not, no. So he's dropped currently into 6th place now. So that's, not great. Anyway, continue. What's your favourite car in those 3 categories?
I think, the car that I probably like the look of the most is the Aston. I've always had a soft spot for the Aston.
Yeah.
I think in terms of sound, it's difficult not to give it to the Mustang. It is, sounds incredible, you can't deny it, although I do also quite like the sound of a Porsche. And then to drive, I think I'd probably have to go with the Aston again, but it is track dependent.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just put out a Q&A thing in the YouTube chat. If you want to go tell us what your favourite car in the game is, base it on looks, sound, how it drives, etc. Let us know what you think. What's yours, Chaz?
Ooh, Porsche.
Porsche?
In terms of
all 3?
In terms of looks and sounds, it's the Porsche. I have a soft spot for it.
You do.
But I'd gotta say, in terms of driving, it's probably gonna be the Aston.
Yeah.
The V8. Yeah, it's a well-rounded, nice car. It's easy to learn. It's easy to be fairly quick in, but it's also quite hard to actually master.
Yeah.
Unlike the Porsche, that is just terribly hard all the time. It's extremely unforgiving.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that, especially for a rookie or a beginner. I don't think the Porsche is the greatest option to go for. But once you can sort of dial it in, get the setup sorted, and sort of understand the car, you can be really rapid in it. What about GT4s?
Ooh, that's a tougher question. Probably have to say. Ooh. I mean, it's the same with the Aston.
Has to be the Camaro.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, clearly. But in terms of like driving, it's probably going to be the Aston again. It's just such a simple car.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill you. It's well-rounded. It's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm driving it in our GT4 season. Rob Bjorkman's got drive-through, and Olaf Nyheim's got a stock grade 30. We've just missed those. But yeah, I'm driving that currently in our GT4 season, which is ending tomorrow at Spa. And I've got to say, the Aston Martin is pretty good in all turns, really. It's fast on the straights, it's good in the corners, and you can drive it well, you know? What's your favourite one to drive then, Ollie?
I don't know. I haven't had much experience with the old GT4s. I think the only one that I've really kind of taken time to drive would be the Alpine,
Yeah.
which didn't feel horrific. It was quite a fun drive. So yeah.
Interesting. I mean, not Robert Bjorkman. Luke Wilson currently is leading the championship with 1 round to go in the Alpine. So Alpine is very, very competitive compared to a lot of the cars. It's purely down to probably personal preference, I guess. But yeah. 22 minutes left of this race. We've still got battle for the final positions on the podium at the moment, with Matt Townsend currently P2, Luke Wilson P3, with the fastest lap as well. Marvin Reisenhauer leading by 6.8 seconds. Incredible. You think he's got it now? Unless he makes a mistake like Robert Bjorkman just did, for example. Yeah, I think he's got it.
Yeah, he does, probably.
Mank saying
Take a lot.
Most GT4 feel okay. I can't drive the Maserati though. Yeah, I've driven the Maserati once, I think, and I did not like it. It was really not a nice drive. Really like unstable. Really just not friendly. Really. You guys ever driven it?
Not the GT4 Maserati. No, I can't say I have.
I think it tested it for like 2 laps, wanted to actually just uninstall the game. Probably nearly threw out my entire rig out the window and then just didn't touch the car ever again. But I do respect the people driving it.
It's like anyone who drives the Jaguar in GT3, cough cough, Stephen Hood. Toyota, for example.
You better hadn't be about to insult Stephen Hood, mate.
I'm not insulting him. I'm just saying that, they've got some balls.
Yeah, great respect to people who decide to drive like the pickup, the Maserati, Jag.
The M6.
Jag. The M6.
George Stevens, who's currently P20.
Yeah.
So,
but
really good for him.
Stephen Hood's in the clear because he's got the Jag.
He's in the Jag. Yeah, this battle seems like it's going to go on for ages, I think. Don't think we're going to see the end of it until the end of the race. Well, this is a great result from Matt Townsend, though. Great result for the FGTRL teams, really. You've got Hunter Davis in P11 at the moment. Drew Downing 25th. Kevin Bakiri 16th. So,
that is a car off.
Something's happened there. I'm not sure what, but we're going to keep an eye on this battle though, because this is sort of made it a little bit more interesting. We've got lapped cars and leading cars battling for position. And Thomas Borsatelli's right on the back of this as well, so heating up into the final section of the race. I will remind everyone that there will be post-race interviews, so if you finished on the podium, we'd love to speak to you. If you finished or had a good race or not had a good race, we'd still love to talk to you and see how it went for you. Let us know that, and yeah, join us on Discord in the waiting room and we'll get you up and have a quick chat with you. Do you think that Matt will keep that second place? Or do you think that Luke will catch up and eventually get past him?
I think, it's really difficult to judge at this point. There's only 18 minutes of the race left, so we are, we're getting close. But I'm not 100% confident if there is, if there's going to be that chance. We've seen Matt Townsend is a brilliant driver defensively.
Yeah.
As I believe Becchia is around. Indeed, he is after contact with a lapped car. Is that?
Yeah.
Oh,
it is.
Ooh, that's
wow.
a big
Contact
one.
with a lapped car.
That's not good.
It's the McLaren of night lasts,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's not good for them too. They're still going though. Mank saying Aston probably more stable. Potentially. But we've seen what Luke can do in this Mustang. He can really, really get to grips with it and throw it around the track. So, if it could be down to purely Matt Townsend makes a simple mistake, and he's through, and Luke gets through. As we've just seen, lap traffic could take effect in that regard. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. But the gap is sort of moving up though for Matt Townsend now in this final section. Luke's also got to think about Richard Walters just right behind him as well. Luke's a very good driver, yeah, as Mank says, very good driver. He's been with us for all 3 seasons, and he's been rapid the whole time. He started off in the Bentley, I think it was in season 1, and then season 2 switched to the Lexus, and then he's in the Mustang this time. So he can drive a full range of cars.
Tell you what, Matt Townsend behind the wheel of that Aston Martin is going to be begging the number 42 to just get out of the way. And make it easy for him when it comes time to lap that McLaren backmarker, because he cannot afford to lose anything at all. There we go. Yeah, the 42 goes high at the hairpin. Matt Townsend loses no time at all. He'll be very happy about that.
Yeah.
And I've realised we've still got a driver yet to make their mandatory pit stop.
Yeah, Ballyclin, I think they mustn't have done their correct pit stop requirements, so either didn't take tyres or didn't fuel up, or you'd fuel up, wouldn't you? But yeah, it would be weird. Oh, big slide there for Luke Wilson on the exit off the final corner. Richard Waddles makes his way past as well, and look, the gaps have really, really opened up now. So I think this is fully on Becchia, or not on Becchia, fully on Townsend to keep position, and I think he's going to keep that second place, which is going to be really important for his championship fight, and it's going to be a great feeling to have for him as well. As he currently stands in 5th position in the standings, this will definitely put him above. Well, not above everyone, but it will bring him closer to the guys ahead of him after a somewhat disappointing race for the others. But Martin Rosenhauer are really going to be ecstatic after this race and this pole and leading by 5.5 seconds now to Matt Townsend. Really great stuff from Marvin in that Honda.
That gap has come down, hasn't it?
It's coming down, but I think mainly probably due to traffic.
I think Marvin Reisenhauer's had traffic, yeah.
Yeah, you can see the traffic in front of him and behind him, so I think it's just going to ebb and flow, but it will really depend on what can happen. Obviously, you can maybe lose a second each time you lap a car, and obviously the other guys have just gone through a load of traffic themselves. So as I said, it will ebb and flow. Who's getting the traffic at the right point or the wrong point, really.
As the McLaren ahead of the leader decides that the second part of the final chicane is optional and then comes into the pits.
Oh.
Because he picked up a drive-through for doing it. It was
yeah.
23 lag, yeah.
Gets a drive.
That'll be a nice little present for Marvin Reisenhauer, though.
Yeah,
one less
easy.
car he's got to overtake.
Yeah, exactly. Who's he got in front of him now? He's got, I think that's Don Carves in front of him.
Yeah, it is lime green.
Yeah.
Porsche.
Let's go Honda, says Fax. That's Tim Steve in the chat. Welcome, Tim. Sad you can't join us tonight, but I hear you are a little bit sick, so not good. But yeah. Sad you can't join Reisenhauer. Yeah, obviously teammates in the Hondas. Epic liveries, epic cars, and this is a great result for the team. So we'll watch Hunter Davis, though, who's on the back of Robert Bjorkman for the final 10th position. Sorry, for the final position in the top 10, I should say. See what this battle can do. If Hunter can gain the position, that'll be another top 10 result for the FG2L team. So 2 top 10s and a podium in one race. Not too shabby. Barry Hagen's had a really
Oh my god.
quiet race,
Apex
hasn't he?
GP might have just posted the worst Photoshop attempt I've ever seen in my life on their Threads account.
Send it to me.
Please do send it.
Oh, I don't want to have to save this image on my phone. It's dirty to technology.
Screenshot. And delete afterwards.
Still on my phone.
Delete it straight after, bro.
There we go. I'll send it into the.
On the back of Luke Wilson now.
I'm sending it into the F1 2024.
Yeah.
Shit. Huh. I definitely hit save image. Which screenshot it is. There we go, it's turned up now, of course it has.
Oh, good God. That is, yeah, not great. Disgusting.
And do you know what the worst bit is?
Go on.
That picture is taken from last week when they had him flying the Mexican flag. So they photoshopped the Brazilian flag over the Mexican flag that he was using to celebrate his imaginary win last week in Mexico.
Insane. Look at this, though. Luke Wilson stuck behind a lapped car with Richard Waters right behind.
Holy, that is the most beautiful. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's the most beautiful photoshopping I've ever seen.
You're being sarcastic, right?
No, definitely not.
Generally, there's like half an inch of outline around his entire body.
Yeah.
Like that's it's got to be one of the most noticeable photoshops, apart from like those Instagram influencer gym girls who
For real.
managed to bend metal by standing in front of it.
Reverse
Bend
for yeah, they just have a force field, okay?
It's a battle for position as well with Goncalves and Reinho for P17 and P18 as well. 3 for 4. Oh, he takes him out and catches Bossatelli as well in the same time. Let's have a look at that from Bossatelli's perspective. Oh, big hit there. That is not good from Reinho there. Or Goncalves even. But Naheem now on the back of Goncalves will stick in the car here for a bit and see what he can do. Brandon Fuller also does not seem to be served, seem to have served his pit stop either. Thought he did, but again, maybe he didn't serve the right thing. Yeah, that was a really unlucky move there. Looks like
Beautiful
Olaf
move.
gets right past him as soon as possible. Richard Waters is a little bit further back now from Luke Wilson as Matt Townsend is in the lead. Marvin Reisenhauer, P6. What has happened to Marvin Reisenhauer? He's got damage on his car. What's happened to
Very
Reisenhauer?
interesting.
Leading the race. You know
Hold on, I'm
what?
dipping into the replay file to find it.
Yeah. That is not good.
Oh, he spun out 130R.
He spun out 130 hard.
Must have been. I panned to him and he was just sideways in the gravel of just before the chicane. Yeah, spins. Oh yeah, big contact.
Big one, yeah. He's driving that really, really slowly now. He's got Emma plate right behind him. So, from good to really, really bad for Reisenhauer this time. Not great on his return and poling it and leading for the majority of the race. 5 minutes left and that can happen. Anything could happen. Matt Townsend, though, leading the race. Tim said in the chat, classic Honda thing in 130R. Yeah, seems like it. Such a shame for Marvin, though, doing so well in front throughout the whole race. It's got to be. You got to feel for it. You got to feel for it. Goes wide and lets Emma plate through. So that's going to promote Walters and Luke Wilson up, as well as Matt Townsend, with 3.5 minutes to go. The gap is 2.3 seconds from Townsend to Luke. So This could be a monumental win for Matt Townsend tonight.
Nope, bye Graham. Spun through Daniel 1.
Oh, fair enough.
Also, one of my Australian friends has just woken up,
Whee,
and
big
his
slide
first
there. Bye-bye.
his first 4 words after waking up were Alpine double podium, followed by about a bajillion question marks.
Seems about right. No, I don't know what happened with that race today. That race was Are we living in an alternate universe or something? That's what it seems like. Just under 2 minutes left of this race, so it's going to be one more lap after this for Matt Townsend before he takes his inaugural win of the season, which will definitely catapult him up in the standings for sure. We'll watch Matt Townsend's last lap of the race while in the lead. What a great result this would be, though. Absolutely fantastic. Taking it carefully this time around. Half the lap to go. Through, up to the spoon. And back to the back straight, over to 130R, and we'll cross the line very, very soon, taking the win. 3-second gap. Incredible. It's been such an exciting race, hasn't it, boys? So many battles, especially at the top. As Matt Townsend comes through the final corner, final chicane of the circuit and off the race, and he will come across the line to win at Suzuka. What a race from Matt Townsend.
The leader has finished the race.
Luke Wilson second, Richard Walters third. Bossatelli going to take home a fourth here, with Fabiano just behind in the Porsche, taking fifth. Emo Plate coming home to take sixth. Reisenhauer from pole will take seventh. Very good result regardless. He'll come home and take that. Oliver Dudzik coming into the final chicane now as well. He'll come home to take P8 with a little bit of swerving. Pietro Becker coming home as well, taking ninth. So good result for the FNR boys tonight. 4th, 8th and 9th. Robert Giltman 10th. Hunter Davis just behind in 11th. Monduzzi in 12th. He'll come across the line very, very shortly. followed by Barry Hagen, 13th place this time. I think this is going to be his worst result so far, but we are taking a drop round, so the worst result is not included in the championship standings. Cromsett coming home 14th. That's Drew Downing coming across the line as well. And we've got Balaclin and Brandon Fuller. Brandon Fuller comes across the line to finish as well now. And then finally Balaclin will be the final person to finish after he was just ahead of Matt Townsend at the end there. So he'll have to do another lap of Suzuka. Love the Bentley though. Yeah, the Bentley livery is spectacular. I do love that Bentley livery from Barry Hagen. As Balaclin will come across the line to finish the race. He'll get a penalty though for not serving his pit stop. And that is all we have. So, what a race. Fantastic. I mean, who do you think is driver of the day? Let's go with Ches first. Who do you think is driver of the day after that race?
I'm still gonna have to give it to Marvin.
Marvin, yeah, absolutely.
One small mistake was everything that kept that Honda from a glorious home win.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for him to even put the car on pole, especially in these conditions, in that car, it's incredible driving from him.
Really good stuff. Well, that's the end of a really thrilling race. We've got Barry Hagen in the waiting room. We'll bring him up. Hello, Barry.
Hello.
How was that, mate? That was not your best race?
Disaster.
What happened?
Well, it was my own fault. I may or may not have selected the wrong tires on my pit stop.
You didn't, did you?
Yeah. I had dry tires on. Yeah, I picked up damage from the leaders, just sort of not like just hitting me through lap 1 and stuff, because then you know the way the whatever incident happened that everyone went off track and the S's, whenever they were coming through, every single one of them hit me.
Oh.
I think I had like 8 or 9 seconds of damage in the rear end.
Gee, that's a lot. I mean, I was watching and it looked like you were just being like pinballed every corner.
It was. I think Luke hit me. I don't know if it was Luke's fault or somebody else hit him into me, but it was his car that hit me.
Oh.
And then after my pit stop when I came out, the Porsche 315, I think it was, sort of just bars his way by me by hitting me off track. And even though I was on the dry tires, which not great. I was gonna let him by after the S's, but he just bars his way by, so wasn't great. But I recovered. I think it was the P13, so could have been worse.
And was that? I think I just said it. I think that was your worst result.
Yeah.
So
P6, 2 P9s, and a P13.
So yeah, this one won't be counted for you, which is maybe a positive sign.
Oh, it will be counted at the end because I'm missing Red Bull Ring.
Ah, of course. For now, it won't be.
No, for now. Unless you move Red Bull Ring to a week when I'm not at a gig, no, it's fine.
I mean, you could
Hey, my PayPal's open. Yeah.
And we'll move it to next week.
I'd be down for that.
I mean, if anyone wants to send me a tenner to change it to next week, I will happily do it.
Don't think I won't. I gladly will.
Go on,
You're gonna send me a tenner as well.
No.
I'll send you three. I'll send Ches £3.50 and I'll send Charlie a tenner.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
Okay,
well,
sure.
That'll cover it.
Well, anyway,
Hey, money's money. What can I say?
Yeah. No, it was a fun race. I had a lot of pace. It just my own stupidity cost me.
Absolutely. We're gonna get in Hunter, who had a good race. Hunter Davis, just missing out on the top 10 by one position, barely a second there at the end. How was that for you, Hunter?
Surprisingly, it was actually a pretty good race. Besides me having to avoid Barry breaking a little bit early.
Getting called out.
I
Here.
think it was like what somewhere between the first 5 laps, I think.
It was a diagonal one. I braked a little bit early just to be cautious because I was trying to avoid warnings.
Yeah.
I just seen Hunter fly by me on my rearview mirror. He clearly wasn't
I was like,
listening.
oh shit.
Yeah. Well, good race for you then. Obviously, I think that's your best result this year so far.
Yeah. First race where I don't think I took any damage.
Yeah, surprising. And
Actually, no. I think
quite
no. Never mind. Nürburgring, I did take damage.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I accidentally ran into the back of someone.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
great talking to you. And we'll get George up now as well. The welcome M6 enjoyer.
Evening.
How was that
Most
for you?
sane BMW driver.
Yeah, it was a bit hectic out there.
Yeah, it was. Did you enjoy it though? And how was the M6 for you?
It was it was great fun to drive, but it didn't really have any sort of like wet setup at all, so it was basically very slow.
Fair enough.
But that's more reason why it's so slow is more down to me not doing any practice at all in the wet and not having any sort of wet setup at all.
That will also.
So yeah, I had terrific fun with it.
That's great. So we'll definitely be seeing you next time out at Red Bull Ring as well, hopefully. 2 weeks
That's
time. 17th?
next week.
Week after.
Week after, I think I might be available for.
It might be next week if I pay Charlie.
It might be next week if I get a tenner from Barry, but you know, we'll see. Yeah. Well done, everyone.
I should be available for that.
Good stuff.
Yeah, you have no
If
choice. We're forcing
You
you to
have
race
no
now.
Well, yeah, anyway, thank you everyone for joining us.
Yeah.
What a race. Well done to Matt Townsend. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Everyone say bye.
Bye. Bye.
And
Goodbye.
we'll see you again later.